It's Monday, February 24th, and I got my makeup done. I'm currently in the place I usually am when I record podcasts, but the podcast I had scheduled for today ended up getting canceled. So I figured, why not use this as an opportunity to share an update? Feb 24, I have been going to rock climbing on Mondays and Wednesdays. So today is Monday, and I will be going to rock climbing. Less than 2 weeks until my book launches in the UK. I have a lot of travel coming up. Sunday, I stayed home because I wanted to do two things to catch up on work, and I did neither of those two things. One was edits on a piece that is going to come out next week. Got those done today. The other is a draft of a presentation, which I'm hoping to do for the rest of today. My coach called it productive procrastination. So essentially, I vacuumed, took out the trash, did all the dishes, was doing a lot of other stuff. Saturday, went to a breakfast. It's LA Art Week. Went to a breakfast hosted by Women of Culture, and then went to a friend's birthday party that got rescheduled because of the fires. Friday, Feb 21, went to a breakfast event at Noy House in Venice. It was my first time there. And then went to Greg's birthday that night. And then it was National Caregivers Day, so I had gotten last minute invited to sell some books, and all the proceeds went to Hilarity for Charity, this emergency fund that they had put together for unpaid caregivers who were affected by the fires. Thursday, the 20th, had a bunch of prep calls. Wednesday, the 19th, more prep calls. Then a fireside chat with Doug Crandall, who wrote 22 cents on the hour. And then went climbing that night and grabbed dinner in Sawtell. On the 18th, I had a podcast recording and then went to a screening of this film called Last Breath, which is coming out later this week. Monday the 17th was a holiday, but since I am doing UK promo, did a podcast recording that morning and then went climbing. The entire week before that, Sunday the 16th, got brunch and then took it easy. And then the entire week starting the 9th through the 15th, I last minute decided to go to the summit at Necker Island. Let's see if we can remember the week. I took the red eye that Sunday, Feb 9, got into San Juan, grabbed dinner in San Juan, and then the next morning flew to Tortola, hung out there, grabbed lunch for a few hours, and then got to Necker Island. Then on Tuesday, that was Tuesday. So then on Wednesday, I went to yoga in the morning. And then there are sessions in the morning. I had a kite surfing lesson. Thursday was a bike ride and a hike, a pretty intensive one on a different island. I was the only one who ended up going hiking. Went to the morning sessions, had a kite surfing lesson. Friday, sessions in the morning. Really wanted to schedule a kite surfing lesson, but couldn't get one. And it was also Valentine's Day, and I managed to give a copy of my book to Sir Richard Branson, which was very cool. And then there were all these lemurs all around. And then Saturday, I was able to book a kite surfing lesson. I finally got into the water this time around before it was time to go. And I got to the airport, decided to book an earlier flight back, but the layover ended up getting really delayed. So originally I was going to get in at 1 a.m. Pacific time, and I got in at midnight, so it wasn't even really that much of a difference. But originally I think the flight was supposed to get in at 9. The 8th ended up grabbing dinner and had a shoot on the 7th. Went to a friend's, grabbed breakfast with Steve on Thursday the 6th, and had a bunch of calls, and then went to a friend's book launch for their book called Dateable. It was raining a lot that day. And then on Wednesday the 5th, had a bunch of calls about UK stuff, and then did a podcast recording and went climbing that night. And that is the update. I thought it would take me a lot more, but I guess that was just high level. But the decision to go to Necker Island was kind of one of those YOLO decisions. You only live once. And yeah, it just so happened that I didn't have much that was scheduled that week where I could easily move them around. And now I'm getting ready. If I think about my upcoming travel itinerary, it's Oakland, Irvine, Austin, Denver, London, Birmingham, London, LA, Sacramento, Portland. It's going to be a lot. That'll take us through mid-April. But we're grateful for the opportunity. The stuff in the UK is all really coming together. I'm hoping to finalize 1 or 2 things before I post about it, but I'm trying to have like a little bit of a mental reset, even though the book came out in the US 5 months ago, that this to the UK is the first time they're getting this book. So I want to make sure I have just as much excitement about this UK launch as I did for the US launch. But so grateful it's all coming together. I've been tapping into a lot of different networks that I'm a part of, seeing who knows anyone who wants to do anything. It's been pretty cool to see it all come together so last minute. I had initially decided that I wasn't going to be traveling to the UK because I put so much work into the launch last fall. It's all online. There were 35 events. One I had to postpone, and about half of them were virtual. And then I just wasn't sure, but luckily I feel like I had January and February to kind of regroup, and then starting in March things will pick up again. So maybe that's just how my own seasonality is going to work. But that's all I got, and I am super backlogged on updating these, so I don't even know when this one is going to come out. I think I have 2 other updates before this one that I have to edit, so I will make sure to get on those. But first, I'm going to draft up this presentation, and when I have time, I'll edit these. All right, bye everyone!